Hey everyone, JC with 3-2 again. So my last video I had a little issues with because of copyright infringement, which I understand for the most part. But anyway, so my last video of wiring, I kind of touched on a little process that I do that I didn't really explain very well. Because I didn't do it in that video. So normally with these frames, I'll blow line through the frame. The fish tape that I use, which isn't a copper fish tape, it's actually a steel fish tape. It's got a copper coating on it. I'm not exactly sure of the the diameter of the wire. It's pretty thin, but it's not too thin. Gives me a little rigidity to push through. But anyways, so what I want to do is just do another quick little video showing the blowing method. So I'm an excellent blower. Did you get that on tape? Anyways, so I have a fish here. Let me show you. So I have a fish here that's actually a trickier fish that you can't use with a fish tape, because it's got to come in, it's got to turn 90, it's got to turn another 90 and come out. So you can't use a fish tape for that. So blowing line through the frame, is really the way to do it. So like I had said before, so I just use kite string. You know, everybody has their methods. I just use kite string. So one thing I do is, if you look, see how it's all frayed? I do tie a knot right at the very end. It does give it just a little extra weight right at the end, but what it also does is it prevents the fray from getting snagged on anything. So then I'll just come in and cut that off. So I have just a tiny little knot right on the end, right there. So then I got my air, and this is the type of nozzle I use. And so what I'll do, let me get you down here, is I like to get the string started in the hole a little bit. When you start putting it in, it will fall back out. So you got to put it in far enough so it doesn't fall back out. And there's a few scenarios that'll happen here. One, you'll blow the string and it'll get all bound up and you'll have to pull it out and start over. Another scenario is you get real lucky and it just pops out of the hole. Now, usually all the other holes that are in the frame, you want to plug up so it directs the air out the hole you want. I've got a couple other, I got a couple other holes in the frame that I'm not going to do that. I should be okay, but as a priority though, you should plug up all the other holes. So what I'm going to do is, I got the string in, and I'm not going to just go. I'm just going to kind of give it some blast and just kind of feed it in. Just kind of feed it in, and then give it a little. And looks like I got lucky. So sometimes also you can get it down there, but it doesn't come out the hole, and then you just get your little hook and you can reach in there and pull the line out. So I actually got really lucky here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the phone off the stand here, and I'm going to show you. If you look, see my line just blew right out. If you have your other holes plugged, usually that's the case, and that'll happen. So look, so here it is. Here's my line. Let me bring it back down. Here it is. So now the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to run my line. So this is the tail light. It's got a high brake. It's got a running light, and it's got a ground. So it's an LED tail light. So I've already made a loom, and I've got heat shrink up to the part that I want for now to protect the wire while it's in the frame. And so the other end here, you know, the tag ends I just make sure they're even. And then here's what I'm going to do, and this is a cool little trick that I'll show you. I got a great little place in my teeth that can strip wire, and so when I'm doing this kind of stuff, I can strip the wire pretty easily. So sometimes when you're running line, you have really tight areas to do it. This particular fish ends up being pretty loose. But hey, don't sing. It's copyrighted. Anyways, so when you're doing some fishes that are really tight, you don't want a big old glob like knot where everything's combined on your string to pull through. So here's a little trick I do. So your strand wire, what I do is I come in here and I'll just choose a few strands, usually three per line. So this one I'll pull all these back. I'll pull this one back. Here, I'll get back in the middle of the screen here. And then what I'll do is I'll come in and I'll just cut these off. So now what I've done is I've lightened, or I've made the overall connection, it's going to be smaller. And so then all I can do is I'll twist these together. So now I've gone from a big glob of twisted wire to a very fine line of twisted wire. And so I'll put a little hook on it like that. And then if you remember from the last video, if you watched it, and you can go on our Instagram channel to IGTV, what I like to do is I like to do a uni knot, UNI. I call it a noose knot. And it's just a single loop slip knot is what it is. So you lay it in your hand with your tag end here. Tag end can be on the left. And then here's the line end. And what you do is you just loop it under the string around one finger or two like this. Take both the lines. See if I can get you in here a little closer here. Both the lines here and wrap it around and once through there, and then just pull it. So now what I have essentially is I have a slip knot. And I only do one because I want it to be small. I want the overall profile to be small. So what I'll do is I'll just hook this on, and before you tighten the wire, pull the knot tight. That way it can move. Pull the knot tight. And then, so I have the knot tied on the end of the wire, and then the wire, I just wrap around the tag end of the wire, I just wrap around itself. So now I have a pretty good, let me get untangled here. I have a pretty good little tied knot here. It's going to offer plenty of strength. And then the other thing I'll do is the tag end of the string, I'll just cut that off because, again, we're talking profile. We want a small profile when we're pulling. Some jobs don't require that, some do. And when they do, you want to be small. So now all I'm going to do is just fish my line in. Let me just bring it down here again. Forgot to do that, sorry. I'm gonna bring my line in. Just fish it through. There's my line. Bring this up to where I want it. I can just go ahead and cut this off, and there's it. And so you can use that method on the frame. Now the one I did before through the backbone, that was tricky because of all the holes through the frame. So that's where I had to use the wire. In some applications you'll use the wire, in other applications you'll just blow string. It's really not tough. The more you do it, the more you'll get used to it. I hope that helps you out. Check out the videos we have, like and subscribe, leave comments below. We welcome your feedback, good or bad, or positive or negative. And stay tuned, we got more content coming your way. I'll see you later.